What if the secret to your success was hiding in plain sight? What if just one shift in perspective could change the trajectory of your entire life? Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple, had one timeless piece of advice that unlocked the genius within him. And it can do the same for you. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see the world in a completely different way. Steve Jobs once said, "Everything around you that you call life was made up by people who were no smarter than you." Let that sink in for a moment. Every system, every rule, and every innovation was created by someone who dared to think differently. Jobs' genius wasn't about intelligence. It was about mindset. And today, we're going to unpack the one realization that made him unstoppable. Step 1. Understand that the world is malleable. When Jobs co-founded Apple in a garage, personal computers were considered impractical for everyday people. They were massive machines used by corporations and engineers, and the idea of a sleek, user-friendly device seemed absurd. But Jobs refused to accept this limitation. He questioned the status quo, asking, "Why can't technology be beautiful? Why can't it be personal?" These questions led to the creation of the Macintosh, which revolutionized computing and later inspired the iPhone, a device that fits in your pocket but connects you to the world. Jobs' genius wasn't about knowing all the answers. It was about asking the right questions. He believed that innovation isn't reserved for the select few. It's for anyone brave enough to challenge the way things are. This mindset gave him the courage to envision a world where music, phones, and computers were interconnected in ways no one had imagined before. So, how can you adopt this perspective in your life? Start by challenging the assumptions you've taken for granted. Look at the systems and routines you follow daily. Why do you do things the way you do? Could there be a better way? For instance, if you feel stuck in a 9-to-5 job, ask yourself, what if I could work on my own terms? What if I could turn my passion into a career? These questions are the seeds of innovation and personal growth. Everything you see around you, every product, every rule, every tradition was created by someone. And if they could do it, so can you. The moment you realize the world is malleable, you'll stop being a passive observer and start being an active creator. Step 2. Pursue passion over profit. Early in his career, Jobs faced significant setbacks. He was fired from Apple, the very company he co-founded. For many, this would have been the end of the story, but for Jobs, it was a new beginning. Why? Because he wasn't driven by profits or accolades. He was driven by an unshakable love for innovation and design. After leaving Apple, he founded Next and acquired Pixar, pouring his heart into projects that aligned with his creative vision. These ventures not only helped him grow, but also prepared him for an epic comeback to Apple, where he revolutionized the company with groundbreaking products like the iPod, iPhone, and iPad. Jobs believed that passion fuels persistence. When your primary focus is on money, obstacles seem insurmountable. But when you're driven by something you love, challenges become opportunities to learn and grow. Passion sustains you during late nights, failed experiments, and countless rejections because you're not just working, you're creating something meaningful. How can you apply this in your own life? Start by asking yourself, what would I do if money weren't an issue? Think about the activities or topics that make you lose track of time, the ones that spark excitement and curiosity. These are the clues to your true passion. Once you identify it, take small steps to integrate it into your life. For example, if you love writing, start a blog or contribute to online publications. If technology excites you, learn coding or explore building an app. If you're drawn to art, dedicate time each week to painting or designing. Remember, pursuing your passion doesn't mean abandoning your responsibilities overnight. It's about gradually aligning your daily actions with the things that light you up. Some might argue, passion doesn't pay the bills. While that's true in the short term, Passion often leads to excellence, and excellence attracts opportunities. Jobs didn't start Apple to get rich. He started it to create. His passion for design and user experience eventually made Apple one of the most valuable companies in the world. By focusing on mastery, not money, you position yourself as irreplaceable in your field. Passion is the foundation of lasting success. When you align your work with what you love, you not only achieve extraordinary results, but also inspire others along the way. As Jobs said, your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. So, what's stopping you from pursuing your passion? Step 3. Embrace failure as a stepping stone. Steve Jobs believed that failure wasn't the opposite of success. It was a critical part of the journey. He once said, "I didn't see it then, but getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." This mindset turned setbacks into opportunities for innovation and growth. Now let's go back to 1985. Jobs, the visionary who co-founded Apple, was ousted from his own company in a highly publicized power struggle. For many, this would have been a career-ending moment. But for Jobs, it was a recalibration. He later said, "I was out and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating, but it was also liberating." During his time away from Apple, Jobs didn't retreat into obscurity. Instead, he launched Next, a computer company that, while commercially unsuccessful, developed groundbreaking technologies that Apple later adopted. At the same time, he acquired Pixar, transforming it from a struggling animation studio into a powerhouse that gave the world Toy Story. These ventures weren't just about bouncing back. They were about growing stronger and smarter. By the time Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, he was a wiser leader with a clearer vision, ready to steer the company toward unprecedented success. Why do so many people fear failure? It's because society often equates failure with incompetence. But Jobs viewed failure as feedback, a signal to pivot, learn, and improve. When you embrace failure, you shift your mindset from "what if I mess up?" to "what can I learn from this?" This change in perspective is transformative. Here's the truth. Every failure carries valuable lessons. Failure teaches resilience, creativity, and problem solving, skills you can't gain from success alone. It builds character and prepares you for bigger challenges ahead. As Jobs himself said, "Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith." Real-life application. Here's how you can embrace failure in your own life. 1. Reframe failure. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, view it as a data point. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? 2. Start small. Take calculated risks in areas where failure won't be catastrophic. For instance, test a new idea on a small scale before fully committing. Point 3. Track progress. Document your failures and the lessons learned. This practice turns setbacks into a roadmap for growth. Point 4. Practice gratitude. Yes, gratitude, even for failure. Reflect on how past failures have contributed to your current growth. Imagine this scenario. You launch a small business and it fails. Instead of giving up, you analyze the reasons. Poor marketing, lack of customer understanding, or inefficient systems. Armed with these insights, you launch a second business, avoiding those mistakes. This time, you succeed. Many people say, "I can't afford to fail. It's too risky." But the reality is, avoiding failure often means avoiding growth. Playing it safe may protect you from immediate pain, but it also robs you of the long-term rewards that come from perseverance. Even Jobs faced moments of doubt, but his willingness to fail made him unstoppable. Remember, failure isn't the end. It's a detour on the road to success. Steve Jobs' life teaches us that failure isn't a badge of shame. It's a badge of honor. Every stumble brings you closer to understanding what works. As Jobs put it, the heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. When you embrace failure, you reclaim your ability to take risks, innovate, and achieve greatness. So, ask yourself, what would I attempt if I wasn't afraid to fail? Step 4. Follow your heart and trust the process. One of Steve Jobs' most iconic messages was about following your heart and trusting the process. In his 2005 Stanford commencement speech, he famously said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." But what does it really mean to follow your heart? And how does trusting the process lead to success? Let's break it down. Following your heart isn't just a feel-good mantra. It's a strategic decision rooted in authenticity. Jobs believed that passion fuels perseverance. When you do what you love, you find the strength to endure challenges, innovate, and push boundaries. For Steve Jobs, following his heart meant pursuing design and technology with relentless passion. He didn't start Apple to make money. He started it to bring beautiful, functional technology to the masses. This deep sense of purpose guided his decisions, from the simplicity of the iPhone's interface to the elegance of the MacBook's design. Jobs didn't settle for mediocrity because he wasn't motivated by external validation. He was driven by an internal desire to create something extraordinary. Trusting the process means having faith that your hard work, consistency, and vision will pay off, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Jobs understood this well. In the early days of Apple, there were countless moments of uncertainty. The Apple II was a gamble. The Macintosh had a rocky start. But Jobs believed in the process of innovation and refinement. He didn't chase overnight success. He focused on creating products that would stand the test of time. This idea of trusting the process extends to the moments when things don't seem to make sense. Jobs once said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." In other words, the challenges and opportunities you face today may not reveal their purpose immediately, but in hindsight, they'll form a clear picture of your journey. Real-life application. How can you apply this principle in your life? Let's explore one. Identify your passion. Reflect on what excites you. What would you do if money wasn't a factor? Your passion is the compass that will guide your decisions. Point 2. Take aligned risks. Pursuing your heart often involves stepping outside your comfort zone. This might mean switching careers, starting a business, or pursuing a creative project. Trust that the risk is worth it if it aligns with your purpose. Point 3. Be patient. Success doesn't happen overnight. Like Jobs, you might face setbacks, but if you're working towards something you truly care about, those challenges become lessons, not roadblocks. Point 4. Stay authentic. Don't compromise your values or vision to fit in or appease others. Jobs never watered down his ideas to conform to industry norms. He redefined the industry instead. Imagine you're passionate about writing, but stuck in a job you dislike. Following your heart might mean dedicating evenings to crafting a novel or building a blog. Over time, those small steps could lead to a career change, allowing you to do what you love full-time. Some might argue, following your heart isn't practical. It won't pay the bills. And while it's true that pursuing your passion might not yield immediate financial rewards, Jobs' life proves that passion combined with persistence leads to long-term success. The key is to start where you are. Keep your day job if necessary, but carve out time to pursue what matters most to you. Practicality and passion can coexist. You just need to find the right balance. Steve Jobs' message about following your heart and trusting the process is timeless. It's not just about chasing dreams. It's about living a life of meaning and purpose. As Jobs said, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. When you align your actions with your passion, and when you trust the journey, even when it's uncertain. You unlock the potential to achieve greatness. So, ask yourself, are you following your heart, or are you living someone else's dream? Are you trusting the process, or are you letting doubt hold you back? Remember, success begins when you take that first step toward what truly matters to you. Step 5. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. In his iconic Stanford commencement speech, Jobs ended with the words, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." It's a reminder to always stay curious, always take risks, and never settle for mediocrity. Jobs never stopped learning, experimenting, or dreaming. Even at the height of his success, he remained open to new ideas and willing to take bold risks. That's why Apple didn't just stop at computers. It revolutionized music, phones, and even animation. Practical application. Ask yourself, are you hungry enough for success? Are you willing to take risks, learn new skills, and embrace uncertainty? Staying hungry means never getting too comfortable. Staying foolish means daring to dream big, no matter how impossible it seems. Your turn to think different. Steve Jobs' advice wasn't just about technology, it was about life. The world is yours to shape, but it starts with how you see it. Will you accept the status quo, or will you think differently? Once you realize the world is waiting for you to make your mark, success becomes inevitable. So, are you ready to change the world? Hit that like button if this inspired you. Subscribe for more life-changing insights, and comment below. What's one area of your life you're ready to reshape? Let's start a revolution together.